Hey everybody, my name is Mariandra, and I'm here to talk a little bit about Pakistan's Wild West and who controls things there. Okay, so what are the federally administered tribal areas, or FATA? They are an area in northwestern Pakistan. It runs along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border. It's also known as the Tribal Belt because it's comprised of a lot of tribes in 7 main districts and 6 frontier regions. You can see the little map over here. It's a rugged area. There's a lot of mountains and valleys, and the mountain passes are really narrow. So it's a pretty remote place. And it's not especially well developed because it's difficult to get things there or to contact other people quickly, etc. And there's also a lot of people there. And it's a rather small area. It's only about 450 kilometers long, and from its widest point, it's only about 250 wide. So it's a small area with lots of people, and it's a difficult area to navigate, as you can see here from this picture. The main people who live there are called the Pashtun. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're an Iranian ethical group. They follow a set of ethical traditions and rules called the Pashtunwali, and that kind of guides their behavior and their decorum. It's mentioned a little bit in our book that we're reading this semester, so you might remember a little bit from that. It used to be known for its diversity and social values until recently. They were nicknamed the Wild West for a couple of reasons. Part of that is because there's the mountains make a good hiding place for bandits and thieves and for terrorists recently, especially along the Khyber Pass. Since the war on terrorism, it's been the training grounds for a lot of terrorists. So that's kind of just made things worse, and it does kind of have a Wild West aspect to it with the lawlessness and things that go on around there. And you can tell from this picture that it kind of makes for a hard life. So before the FATA or Tribal Belt became a hideout for terrorists, it used to be kind of a buffer from between Pakistan and Afghanistan. But now, because there are so many terrorists and other issues going on over there, it's kind of more like an open sore, which causes a lot of irritation between the two nations instead. And because of the geography of the area, efforts to take care of these issues are difficult and they don't always succeed. And also they've lost a lot of their cultural identity because of all the things that are going on there. You can see they've lost a lot of houses and buildings, and it's been very difficult to rebuild. So as for who really rules Pakistan's Wild West, that's kind of a hard thing to define because technically they are under the Pakistani government, but there's been issues with that because they used to have their own constitution and their own laws, but now they're trying to unify with Pakistan and to modernize a little bit. But it's also hard because the terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda, ISIS, or the Taliban, they still have, or for a long time they had a big hold on a large part of the tribal belt, so that's made things hard, and not everybody is completely free from that grip yet. So some parts are still struggling with that, but the end goal is to unify under a steadier government with the rest of Pakistan and to modernize so that they can all be on the same page and take care of themselves. You can see they're making efforts for that. Even though these little boys don't have a school to go to, they're still making efforts to go to class and get a better education so that they can have a better life than they would otherwise. So generally, I think things are getting better from what I was able to tell, but there's still a lot of issues there. There was a surge of terrorist attacks earlier this year, even though a lot of terrorist groups had been dismantled, but there's still some issues. They're still out there. And in the meantime, a lot of the tribal belt is still influenced by terrorism, so that's still a bit of a struggle, but the uphill battle of modernizing and of unifying governments with Pakistan, that end goal should help them to be able to support themselves better and to be more capable of dealing with these issues. Hopefully, once that happens, we'll see more of this than what there's been these past several years. More happiness and unity. So that's my presentation. Here's my references. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.